Hi, my name is Mike, and thanks for joining me on this little series of how to do things with Moodle. Today, on this video, we're going to look at controlling student access to your courseware using either the show and hide or restrictions in Moodle. So let's do the simple one first, and this is show and hide. So in the top right-hand corner of your Moodle course, you'll probably have a button saying turn editing on, or indeed there's a cog that you click on and turn editing on appears in the next drop-down list. So somewhere on your page you'll have the courseware that you want the students to access, and in this case it's a URL to Learning Technologies Expert. With editing on the right-hand side of the courseware bit, you'll see an edit link. So click on there and there'll be a drop-down feature with edit settings, move right, hide, duplicate, assign roles and delete. So in this case, click hide. Okay, with that hidden, you can see there's a label saying hidden from students that will appear underneath the courseware. Moreover, the text of that link has been greyed out. So this allows any other teachers to see that piece of courseware is unavailable to students right now. So how do you reveal it? Well, funnily enough, you just go to that little edit feature on the right hand side again, and this time in that drop down there's a link called show. So you just click that and it's back to normal. So that's hide and show. It's dead easy, but bearing in mind it's a manual process, so you need to be on the ball on what you want the students to see and not to see. So the other one is called restrictions. So in this instance, against the piece of courseware that you want the students to see, in this case the URL, click the little edit feature, and instead of hide, click now edit settings. You'll have to scroll about halfway down the page to find common module settings, and under availability, well, funnily enough, there's another show and hide feature. The third option, make available but not shown on the course page, is sometimes useful, and I'll cover that in a different video. Underneath common module settings, there's restrict access, and this can be really powerful, particularly for tests and exams and other activities. So let's click on the add restriction button, and Moodle offers us about 8 different things. So the first one is activity completion, and that's where the students can't access the piece of courseware until they've completed some activity or other. The next one is date, more about that in a moment because there's a big red line around it. And then there's grades, where the student has to accomplish a certain grade to see this material. Then groups and groupings. Groupings are groups of groups. I'll cover that in another video. There's user profile, roles, and the restriction set at the bottom effectively is for multiple restrictions based on all the ones above it. And I'll come on to that in a moment. So let's click on dates, and so what I've selected is going to restrict by date. So this is where the students cannot see the piece of material from a particular date until a particular date. So in this case, they can't see it from 24th of March midnight until 27th of March at midday. Okay, and you'll see on the left-hand side there's those eyes that are crossed out. There's one for each of the restrictions. And what does this mean? Well, it means that the students will not see anything in their browser until midnight on the 24th, from midnight to the 24th, and until midday on the 27th. If those eyes were showing, effectively they would see a link that was greyed out and the instructions saying you can't see this from midnight on the 24th until midday on the 27th. So I just want to sort of go back to the restriction set, and as I said, it's really useful. This is the one at the bottom, and you can nest different restrictions against a particular piece of software or different pieces of software if it was a more complex test or exam. Please be aware there are dragons. You really need to be on the ball of what you're doing in that area. That's all I want to say. There be dragons. So whatever restrictions you apply, then please don't forget that all the way down at the bottom of that same page is the save and return to course. So if you don't, all the restrictions that you've just set up will be ignored because effectively you've just hit cancel. So don't do that. Anyway, my name is Mike Toft. I'm checking out. I'm on Twitter at A Little Grey Hair, on the web at alittlegreyhair.com. And thanks for joining me on this. I'll be adding more how to use Moodle from a practitioner's point of view in due course.